Alright, hello everyone. This is going to be the Lyrical Monasterio match between Luticia and Michu. Both of these decks have been profiled on the channel, uh, respectfully on Monday and Wednesday. Hopefully, if my YouTube didn't mess anything up, but today we're going to be playing these two decks against each other. Both of these are decks that we both enjoy. We're not huge fans of Lyrical Monasterio. We do think that it is a little bit unfair that this nation gets a set for itself while all the other five have to share sets, but it's already something that they're going to do, and we know that people enjoy, these this nation, and obviously it's a waifu nation, so people would like it. And we both have only one deck each. I play Michu because I will primarily play the glitter decks, and Kat got Luticia because he's a big fan of her assets, um, as well as it being a very competitive deck. He doesn't really play competitive decks very often. He usually plays uh, more fun decks, but this is one of the few where he has played something really good. And this is one of this Michu deck is one of my few decks that I play that is it's very fun. I know it is not very competitive, but I have seen this deck do have some incredible results up in regionals. So it is a strong value engine. So here we have grade 1 turn for Leticia, nothing special. And then this is one of my favorite combos to do with Michu is that you pitch the grade 1 for effect to get to write up, and then get all set up from deck, play it, and then all set up. The grade 1 drop allows you to Soul Blast to bring it back, and essentially you don't have to pitch a card. And then I activated all set up, which lets you Soul Charge, and then you can play a Cannonball from your hand for free. So I play the grade 3, which draws me a card. I swing here, no trigger, he gets a crit. Yeah, but yes, both of these decks are very, very fun. They do deck out very consistently. They draw a lot of cards. You will see that both of these decks near the end of this game will almost be at decking out or close to, if not almost there. But yes, here we have the grade 2 or the grade 1 for Luticia, which allows him to put a card on the bottom of the deck, and then he can search out a order, which, if I remember correctly, he's going to search the main phase 1, not the blitz one. Yeah, he's going to search the main phase 1 to hand, and then he is going to soul charge 1. The Luticia ride line is incredible. It is a very, very good ride line, giving him the ability to put the OT or any triggers that he might get. And then I believe he is just going to play the order, yeah, which is we'll soul charge 1, and then allow him to call out something. Which, yep, he got he had a very good card off of the soul charge, so he is just going to call that out. And yep, plays her. She allows you to check top 3 and put a card from there into soul. And you have to. This is a mandatory effect. So he puts a card in there. It is not a order, which is unfortunate for him. That's what this card is supposed to do. It's supposed to allow you to put a order into soul. Let's see, he whips again. Yep, whips again on both of these. Just unfortunate. He has not gotten any. Plays another one of those because soul is not really an issue for this deck, and he gets to just abuse it, which is very strong. So swings that column, I'll guard it because that grade 2 allows me to gives an extra 5 shield if I have all set up, which I do. Okay, he bounces it with the grade 1's effect, swings with Vanguard. I say want to pass. He gets it, but what can you do? I hit nothing and nothing. Swings with his right column. I have to again take it, and then there's a heal trigger, so I do get to go back to 2. He is going to Soul Blast 1 again to bounce the grade 2. Alright, and then it goes back to Michu. I will draw for turn, pitch to right up. And then the grade 2 will allow me to check top 5 for a Cannonball or a Noquo, which is the grade 1. I think I do whiff here, unfortunately. That grade 2, in comparison to the Luticia ride line, the Michu ride line is not as good. The grade 1 being able to search you all set up and just play it for free is probably the best effect. But the grade 2 seems to struggle very often to hit anything, which is unfortunate. But here I activate all set up again. Soul Charge 1. I'll play the order. I'll just play the order, but then I Soul Charge 1, and then effective the order. I draw another one. And I'm able to do this for free, which is great. And here I just swing with Vanguard because, there's not much for this deck to do outside of that. I get a PG. He hits one of the supporting units for his deck. And then here he gets to Soul Blast Luticia card, if I remember, or Soul Blast 1, to ignore having to ride up, so he doesn't have to pitch to ride, which is very good. But as we will see, he is unable to get the second, or to get any more cursed play orders into the soul, which makes it so he doesn't have an abilities because most of his units require to have him having a minimum of 2. And here he is unable to get another one, even after 2 digs, which makes his Vanguard pretty much unable to do anything. He has dogged through about 12 cards here because he's used those grade 2s, right? And he doesn't have any in hand. He doesn't, because there are 2 curse plays, the main phase one and then the blitz one. If he had the blitz one, he would have played it, but he unfortunately did not, which means that his Vanguard is essentially just swinging here. But there, he's got one, and he got Persona, right? I hit a Michu or a Nope. Well, can't remember exactly, but I hit one of those. And here he just, does this old song and dance, Soul Blast this one, bounces, swings with the other one. I'll take this one. Again, nothing. Soul Blast 1, bounce. The Luticia deck is very strong. Even when it's not doing anything, it gets to keep such strong hand advantage. Here I go into Michu. Well, the VTuber one, I don't have a full set yet, but it is a very cool art, so I do use them. Here I use that grade 2. That grade 2 is one of the attacks for my deck. It allows me to put a set order back into my hand. So with all set up, I'm able to play it again for free and draw another card. And here, I think in this moment I didn't have a lot of good attacking units. I had a lot of shield in hand, but nothing to really attack with. So I just called out what I could. And here I activate the cannonball order, if I remember correctly. Yep, I almost attack, and then I remember I gotta change the cannonball, which turns Michu's cannonball into Soul Blast 2 and give 3 units plus 10k. So you give them to your booster and the 2 units to your left and right, which will then make your Vanguard essentially swinging for something like 31. Heal trigger, and I give the power to the Noquo. Or I give power to the Noquo in the rear guard. He gets a front trigger, which kind of kills the momentum of my deck here. So I use Noquo as a fact to counterblast 1, pitch a card, to swap its position with Vanguard. And now it's swinging again, and this time it's swinging for 28, which still hits, and it has a single drive. I bet it's not the biggest number because that front really did kill the momentum. He is able to play the Blitz order, which gives him the extra shield. And this is 1 a pass. And I did hit it, so I will heal, giving the power to Vanguard, obviously, so that it can hit. And it does, putting him up to 4, and I did heal twice, so I am brought back down to 2. And I swap Michu and Noquo back. Both of my rear guards aren't able to hit because their numbers are too small. Here he goes. He plays Luticia, Persona rides. And then he's going to do the same old song and dance of calling the 2s, check-in. So he has 2 of the curse play orders in Soul at the moment. I think he is unable to get to 4, which is where his Vanguard gains the ability to restand. Yep, I think he only has 2 at the moment. And I feel like this was a very good showing for both decks. They're both having struggles. Luticia wasn't able to get its curse plays, and Michu wasn't able to get its power rear guards, which is unfortunate. But here he is still able to activate the first ability of Luticia, which just lets him draw a card and get +5. And he has now received another Blitz Order. I then get a crit trigger, which makes him attacking me a little harder. And I just guard it because I can, and it's better to guard these numbers when they're small because that grade 2 has another ability that allows it to gain +5 or +15 depending on the number of curse play orders. So I think I take this one. Yeah, I think yes, I just take this one. It's a draw trigger, I draw a card. He is going to Soul Blast again to bounce, yep, and then it goes to me. I have my Persona right in hand, so I will just Persona right up, draw a card, and then I'm going to activate Michu. She allows me to draw a card, and then call or pitch. So I think I have to call out like a PG here because I'm just not getting any power units, so I called a crit. Yeah, it was bad. So I'll Soul Charge, and then I will play a Cannonball, and then I'll draw me a card. As you can see, my deck is already getting very low. And as well as Cat, his deck is getting very low. Both of these decks draw a lot, and that is a very, very important thing to keep track of while playing either of these decks, is that you can just deck out. So here we just swing Soul Blast 2 to give the +10 to all 3 units, right? He perfect guards this because he doesn't want to get hit, which is understandable. And I will perform Twin Drive. I hit two attacking units, but it's a little too late. Activate the effect of Nokwell, pitching, and it'll swap positions, and now it's 28 with a single drive. I think he uses the Blitz Order here, and I tell him that it matches, because that Blitz Order gives him extra 15. Yeah, see, he plays this, and I tell him that's exactly matching, so he needs to... the attack still hits regardless, so he has to throw more on there. Yep, he throws another 15, which makes it OT to hit, or it can't hit, right? And I get a crit, but I'm putting this on the rear guard, so I put the power on the Nokwell on the left, and the crit on the grade 2. So I'll swing with the Nokwell first. This Nokwell swinging for 38. And I believe he just takes this because it doesn't have a crit, so he doesn't want to waste the... He doesn't want to waste the cards in hand. Oh, he used his OT. Right. And then this one is swinging for 35, but it's got the crit, so he just... Yeah, he perfect guards that one. The units swap back positions, and it goes to his turn. I believe he still had Persona, right? But we can see, as you can see, the deck is getting very small. So he activates the Curse Play Order, calls out the grade 2, which saves him from having to call one from his hand, which is very good. And now he gets to activate the grade 2. That is another great strength of Luticia. It is able to thin incredibly fast. That grade 2 has such good advantage. Every turn being able to thin 2 cards is just exactly what you want, essentially. Right, you get a choice. As you can see, his deck is getting very low. And I think he now has 4 Curse Play Orders. It is unfortunately, I think, a little too late for him at this point. He doesn't have the Liberty. Or he didn't have the Liberty against... Yeah, see, and I used my OT to essentially make it no pass. He does get a heal, putting him back to 3 because we are matching damage, and another heal, but he doesn't get the benefit out of this one. So I think I forget, and then he swings again. I think I remind him that he does have to pitch to restand, because if not, it would just be very free. So he pitches and then swings, and I go perfect guard here, and he still has It's a single drive. Yeah, he just gets Persona right. And now he swings with the rear guards, which are very big numbers. So I think I elect to take one of them. So I'll perfect guard this one, and then I take the second one to avoid. Yeah, he just reminds me that he's gonna bounce, and then yeah, I take the second one. Both of these decks are very linear, so I can understand if this gameplay specifically is a little boring for some people. I will not judge you. These decks are not very complex, not very creative in what they're doing. They're consistent, but sometimes consistency can itself be boring, right? So here I just make a board because I'm trying to get as much power as I can. Send the cannonball to the bin. Swing with Vanguard again. Here we're gonna Soul Blast 2 to give +10 to the 2 units in the front row and then the one behind Vanguard. I hit nothing. He gets a defensive trigger. And I activate no cool effect to swap, swinging for 28 again. He chooses to guard. He has something like 6 cards remaining, but I think I tell him here that, hey, that's exact again. This is 28 to 28, and he remembers he has to throw another card. Remember, folks, math is hard, so let's not get upset at anyone for not knowing. He guards here. I don't hit anything. And then he swings. Or I swing with the right column because it's slightly bigger than it's slightly smaller than the left column, so I wanna hit as consistently as possible. So he guards that one. Yep, the number was huge. It was something like 38, I think, and this one was 43. I think this is where his downfall happened. He gets that draw trigger, and I tell him I think that's game, and he's like, no, I should have enough cards. Here he draws, and then he counts the number of cards in his deck, and I don't know what he was going for here, but I tell him like, oh, you still pretty much got this. I have 2 cards, so I can't even take a damage, because if I take a damage, then I'll lose. Even if it is a heal, I would lose as soon as I draw the card that would be remaining in my deck. So he does kind of misplay here. I did tell him after the game that he probably should have done this differently, because he still goes for the Persona ride. This grade 2 is not optional. It does not say you may choose to at any point. It forces you to. So he had to put a card there. And he calls out he just moves that up. I think I told him after that he should have probably just called like triggers, and I told him that grade 1 gives power anyway, so he should have just called triggers, or like Peaches. Like, this was his final turn anyways. So he swings with Vanguard. He doesn't activate the ability because he can't, because if he draws a card, he dies. I think here's where I notice that I haven't swapped my Vanguards back, so I swap him back. And then I see that this is 2 to pass, and with how much he's thinned his deck, you might know that there's a huge amount of triggers there. But he does not hit in either. But he's still going to go for the kill here. This column on the right, or on the left, is very small. I have 1 card to guard. And this column, I get to perfect guard it. And then I will draw for turn. And I will just pass and say, good game.